Good evening. You're watching Arcelormittal's daily chart, and we will go to this a little bit later, but first let's take a look at some fundamentals. So I'm going to walk you through a trade I did today just for your amusement or education, if you like to think about it that way. So Arcelormittal, if you want to take a really fast shot at fundamental analysis, you can check on zacks.com/stock/quote/MT, because MT is Arcelormittal, or just use the search in here. You don't need to have an account in here to kind of get this data. Zacks rank for Arcelormittal is 1 strong buy. They give some statistics somewhere on the page how good or bad their ranking system is, but it's based on earnings momentum, and that's quite a powerful force behind the price movement of stocks, statistically speaking, over long periods of time. Then they have some style scores, and they think that the value of this stock right now is very good, growth is rather good, and momentum is very strong, and they rank the industry to top 11, so 27th out of 251, and ArcelorMittal is a steel producer. That's pretty much it. There are some news and stuff. The interesting thing here is to see that they also previous time beat the earnings estimates, which is a nice thing. A little bit more detailed data could be found on finviz.com, a free website where I have a free account. I used to pay for this, but I no longer do, and I would appreciate if this dude can go away, but I'm sure I'm going to get another advertisement quite soon. Anyway, the trend of the price is quite good, which we will see on the charts, but here the more important and interesting things are actually these numbers, which look quite good. There's strong quarter-on-quarter growth on earnings, profitability, well, it is there. Sales are growing, results are growing. All in all, doesn't look very bad to me. I'm not going to go through the details, but doesn't look half bad. Well, now we know that ArcelorMittal produces steel. We remember that from the previous thing. So let's check how steel is doing. Well, steel has been doing quite fine, so now we have some sort of reason behind the price progression. Well, the steel price has been falling, but we know, if we don't know, we can read from here that steel is produced from iron. And we can also check iron ore price, and iron ore price has been doing exactly this, and it's already moving higher, and the trend is strongly higher. So I don't see that there would be a reason to assume that since steel is created from iron, if iron price is going higher, steel price should also probably go higher. And since ArcelorMittal is a producer of steel and the stuff that they produce is becoming more and more expensive, I believe that their performance is not going to get much worse. Now we have a very short version of fundamental analysis done. We can do a very short version of technical analysis as well. I have drawn here exponential moving average 34 period as the yellow, or the kind of orange yellow line, and the 8 period exponential moving average as the blue line here. And we see, when we're eyeballing this, I'm not going to go through any statistics or stuff like that, that would take too much time, but we see pretty much that every time this touches the yellow line or comes close, it starts to be time to move higher. So up, fall down, up, fall down, up, fall down, up. I'm going to remove that. I'm gonna remove this guy from here and hide this and that. Now we have much easier time seeing that falls back to the yellow line, moves higher, falls back higher, falls back higher, falls back higher, falls back and a lot higher, falls back, spends maybe a week or two below, and then moves higher, falls back and higher, falls back and higher, and this is kind of just repeating itself over and over again. Now This is a stochastic line with slightly more aggressive than the standard settings. We also see that whenever this goes to the oversold area, it starts to be the time to bounce. Here it bounced, here it bounced, here it bounced, here it bounced. It didn't quite reach the area. Here it bounced without, well, actually it didn't bounce. It just fell there, and the price didn't even fall. Here it's not that low yet, but the drop was very strong. Now this may go lower, but I'm still believing that eventually this will move higher with the price of steel and with the price of iron. So that's kind of the charting thing. Now the markets are quite choppy. I'm not going to check any Nasdaq or S&P 500 charts or Dow Jones charts, but if you like to check those, you will see that it's not a very clear uptrend everywhere, except Arcelormittal is kind of bucking the trend. But since this is not the kind of insanely strong bull market that we had in 2020 after the COVID crash was over, I did not do a very aggressive trade on this one. Instead, here's a trade that I did. That's called a vertical call spread. So I bought 30 strike call September 2021 and sold a 35 strike call against that in the same expiration series. I've got 121 days for this trade to work out, so that's a lot of time. And what is cool is that the probability of profit is 41%, which is nice. But the probability of making 50% gain on this one is 67%, which is very, very good. Theta is positive, so every day that I'm holding this trade, provided that the price doesn't start falling lower, I will be actually paid for keeping risk on, which is really cool. So that's pretty much it. The risk of taking one of these is, or would be now if the markets were open, would be 175, 176, somewhere there. I paid 180 for one of these, so now I'm like $4 on loss on each of these ones. I can live with that. The maximum profit per spread is 324, so that's not quite double, but 1.6 or so times the cost of the trade. And the probability of making 50% gain on this one is quite good, and that's what I like about this trade. Now, of course, the trend is telling to me that I'm gonna win. The probabilities are telling to me that I'm gonna win, and the fundamental analysis, the price of steel and the price of iron moving higher, are also telling me that I'm gonna win. Of course, this can end in tears. I can totally lose, like on every trade I can lose, but I think that I have such a strong edge on this one, built by the fundamental analysis, the macro view, and the technical analysis, the very simple charting that I did, plus the way I built this option trade. There are so many things in my favor that I'm very happy risking a little bit of money in here and seeing if I can get at least my 50% victory. And that's how I like to do this stuff. I hope this was helpful, and if you would like to learn more about this kind of topics, you could go and check optioninvestors.club. I've got a very nice birthday promotion going on in there. You can get a lifetime membership of a trading strategy called Climbing Valley Strategy for free for life right now. That has created like 5,400, and I don't remember exactly what, but a lot of returns on risk in the past 5 years, and it's basically, that's quite good returns. I think the hit rate is around 70% and all the good stuff. Of course, if I would be a good salesman now, I would be showing the landing page and all that sort of stuff, but I didn't think about doing that, and I'm not going to start looking them up now. I think I'll do that the next time. Anyway, optioninvestors.club//climbing valleys. That's where you can find it. Have fun and good night.